Fabrizio Romano gives a Steve Cooper update. Forest are linked with yet another Bundesliga striker. And more protests incoming. Welcome to your Forest News. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Hope you're well and welcome to your latest Forest News. There's a lot to update you guys on as Romano tweets his version of the Steve Cooper events. We're going to get straight into it, of course, once you guys have hit the like button. If you're enjoying the content, if you're new, subscribe to Forest Fan TV. Make sure those notifications are on. Let's jump into it and let's kick off with the Steve Cooper latest. As we brought to you yesterday, TalkSport, the media, mainstream media and all that, we're talking about him being under pressure. And there's been a little bit written about it from Fabrizio Romano. And I just want to quote it to you because I don't think a lot of people have seen this. Maybe you have. Let me know in the comments down below. So it's off the back of the stuff, obviously, with Cooper being under pressure, talks that maybe Everton could be his last game. And Romano has tweeted, and I'll quote him, "There has been some speculation that Steve Cooper is now under growing pressure at Nottingham Forest after poor recent results. They're on a run of just one win out of 9 games and sit 14th, or now 15th in the Premier League. For now, they're still backing Steve Cooper, as far as I understand, but of course they want to see different results. They also know it's about bad luck as injuries like Taiwo Awoniyi are creating an issue. It's not easy to keep going without players like him." And then he goes on to say, "Personally, I think backing Cooper was a great choice 1 year ago, so I expect they will try to follow that way. But the situation in terms of results on the pitch certainly has to change." So very interesting to hear Romano's take on it. Romano obviously has a lot of agents in his back pocket that he can speak to, or should I say more in his phone book than back pocket. So he's kind of not really saying anything new because we kind of already know that this Everton game is a crunch game. But I still stick to the fact that I'm not convinced that after the Everton game, Cooper will go because of the fixture pile-up, as we have Fulham literally 3 days after that. We're going to have to wait this one out, guys, whether you're Cooper in, Cooper out, Cooper on the fence, whatever it is, we'll just have to see. The best thing that can happen, I will say what I said on yesterday's video, is Forest beat Everton and we can all be happy about the 3 points. We do have a huge fatal 4-way coming tomorrow. It will be me, it will be Ant, it will be Everton Mike, and it will be John, and it will be ferocious. We got that for you tomorrow, I think at 7 p.m. So make sure you keep an eye out for that one. But it's good to hear Romano's had a take on this. However, what I will say is that if Romano's talking about it, then it adds more kind of smoke to that fire, more flames to that fire, that this story is 100% authentic and true. Now, the other thing to update you on is that West Ham are also interested in Steve Cooper, but it's not something they would look to do currently, as it looks like their manager, David Moyes, is going to see his contract out until the end of the year. But Steve Cooper is also on West Ham's shortlist for a change in the summer if he was to be available at that time. So Cooper is still attracting some kind of mid-level Premier League clubs, I would say, with Crystal Palace being more on the low end. But will he still be at Nottingham Forest come the summer? Time will tell. Get your thoughts in, as always, down below. Alrighty then, let's move on to our second story, and that is of a striker link from the Bundesliga, from Wolfsburg, and that is, of course, the 24-year-old Jonas Wind. Dean Windass. Oh, what can I tell you guys about him? 24-year-old. He has scored, how many goals has he got? He's got 10 goals and he's got about 3 assists in 14 appearances for Wolfsburg. He's a really, really good hold-up player of the ball. He's heavily right-footed. He's a bit of a fox in the box in terms of his finishing. They're all in and around the box. But the big thing for me is he doesn't run like his name suggests. He doesn't run like the wind. He is actually quite slow. Outside of that, he covers a lot of the traits you would like to see in a striker. Good hold-up play, physical, eye for goal, etc. So it doesn't tick every single box, and he's going to cost somewhere in the region of £15 million. And Fulham are also interested in him. I mean, that's irrelevant. I mean, who would go to Fulham over Forest? Seriously. So is he? I'll be honest with you, he's not the one I've got in mind. He's not even near being on my radar. I think he would be okay, but it just depends on the style of football we're going to play. If we're looking for someone who's also very good in the air, which he is as well, then yeah, but Forest are not really currently a crossing club and, you know, looking to get those balls into the box for the striker to finish. We're more a counter-attacking team, if anything. So I don't know how his lack of pace would fit in, and his attributes don't match Forest's style. But if Forest were to adapt their style to meet his strengths, then yes, you probably could see the best out of him. And he is quite young at 24. And for a striker at 15 million in this day and age, it's not that expensive. But he is missing that pace. I think there are better strikers out there. I like Guirassy still. I think he's pacey, strong, a great finisher, got loads of goals already this season. I would have him ahead of Wind. But Wind, I'm sure the likes of Keith and that will make all the jokes that are required. So I'll leave that to you guys to do it in the comments down below. But he's okay, I would say, but doesn't fit Forest's playing style. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, and on to story number 3 today for you, and that is the whiny crybabies that are Everton are still moaning about the Premier League, its corruption, all around the 10 points they've lost on FFP. Don't you worry, I'll be asking Mike tomorrow why they are a bunch of crybabies. But why do I bring this up in relation to Nottingham Forest? Because they are going to stage another protest at this weekend's game at the City Ground. Let me read you out the quote they've put out so you guys are aware, especially if you're going to the game. There are cards for everyone. They've got those pink pointless cards again, 2,893 of them in the away section at the City Ground. Please raise these during the Premier League anthem and in the 10th minute of the game. There will also be 7 small banners that fit within the regulations of the City Ground. We unfortunately cannot make them any bigger as they will not be allowed in the ground. However, our message is still very clear on them. You know what? The perfect thing that could happen this weekend would be Forest to score in the 10th minute. Or, because I think they'll be booing, let's say Forest go 3-0 up in the first 9 minutes and then Everton score in the 10th minute. And then we have to hear their fans booing their own goal. That would be hilarious. Look, joking aside, I get why they're frustrated. I get they think they shouldn't have been docked the 10 points. I get they think Man City should be docked about 6 million points because of it. But honestly, as a Forest fan, I don't really care. I don't care. All I care is that 10 points has put them behind us, and tough luck to them. And if they want to protest about it, knock yourselves out. I don't know what difference they think they're going to make. Now, what's not clear is whether or not that Nottingham Forest will be participating in this, because at Goodison Park last week against Manchester United, the away fans got involved in this. So we may see an announcement from Forest or one of the bodies that say that they will take part in it, and there will be these pink slips all around the ground. What I want to know is, do you guys actually care about it? Do you see maybe it being a risk to Forest if we ever get close to FFP limits and regulations, especially with the spending we've done this summer, and we've got more spending lined up in January? So my thought on it is, I don't care as long as it doesn't happen to us, and I don't care because Everton are below us, so tough luck to them. Take your punishment. Next time, don't break the regulations if you don't want to, pay the penalty for it. Otherwise, shut up and get on with the football. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. That brings you up to date with your Nottingham Forest news today. Get your thoughts in on all those stories. Don't forget, we'll have the preview for the match tomorrow. And, of course, the live Fatal 4-way with myself and Everton, Mike and John. It's going to be, well, put the kids to bed is what I say before you tune in on that. That should be about 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we'll see you tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.